Hi, Mike from the Fulcrum here. Out for a walk with Cyrus Muttley out in the woods. Fantastic day. Almost 70 degrees out, which is kind of crazy for this time of year. A lot of the leaves are down now on the bigger hardwoods like the oaks. It's out on the back trail going up to the old quarry. There's an old Latin saying, carpe diem, basically seize the day. I think maybe a better one would be cherish the day. Some days are just a gift. I mean, weather like this time of the year, quiet trail, slight breeze blowing, bright sunshine, companionship of one's faithful mongrel. Who could really ask for more? I think I cherish these days walks out in the woods with Cyrus more than I did, mainly because I had a bit of a health scare with Cyrus. He suddenly went lame in his hind end, could hardly walk around. He was in great pain, and I thought that maybe he'd had a stroke and I was going to have to put him down because he was just so miserable. Stopped eating. Took him to an emergency vet clinic, and turns out that he was exposed to Lyme disease. He was an old rescue dog, so he's had a rough go, and the vet said he could have picked it up years ago because he's been on flea and tick medication for a long time, but he said it will flare up off and on just as it does in humans. I know this as well because I also have Lyme disease. But this scare that made me think that one day I have this dog that he's my boon companion out in the woods, and after 12 years or so is gone. Scary thought. He's pretty much 100% now, and I look at these days ahead that at his age nobody knows. So we're going to enjoy each one while we can. He certainly does. Eyes, ears, and nose going 24/7. So that's what I mean about cherish the day. We can go out together and seize each day, but in the future I'll cherish these days. Something we don't think about much until people are gone or situations or lives change. A lot of times people will allow a sudden change in their situation, tarnish everything that came before, put a bad light on everything. But in most cases, it's not the truth. It's just our way of pushing things to the back. Love it up here. These old oaks. Have a hard time because it's all basically limestone under here. You go down a foot or two. Yet they've survived all these years. Then we're taking the route back to the old quarry that I've been to many times before. Kind of love sitting there with the dog, just taking in the weather, changing seasons. This one trail doesn't get used an awful lot, so it's more overgrown than the other ones, which I suppose is why I like it. Not much for places with a lot of people. I am a social animal, but I like to get out like this on my own, or just with the dog walking about. Sort of a walking meditation, I guess you could say. Man, this breeze coming in is just lovely. You can smell the scent of the fallen leaves here. Still the odd wildflower here and about. I think I'll just park my butt here for a minute and enjoy the view, feel the sunshine. Won't be that long before all this is covered in snow. I wonder how one can kind of cherish these moments and maintain the viewpoint you had on that moment at that time without it being changed by circumstances that come after. I started a journal a number of years ago, and I don't write in it every day. Some days not much of note happens. Maybe a brief notation about the weather or whatever. But days like this go in there and describe everything. And it's been a habit of mine that as I write a day's entry into the journal, I go back to last year on the same day to see where I was at, see what was going through my mind, see if I'd made any changes for the better. It's a great exercise. It also helps trigger memories that maybe have slipped a little bit in your head and puts them back into the context of when they happened, rather than later on when your circumstances may have changed. Now, Cyrus is somewhere between 80 and 90 in dog years. I gotta admire his enthusiasm for chasing down a scent: squirrels, rabbits, coyotes. And I don't know how much longer he's going to be with me or I'll be with him. Because let's face it, you get to a certain age, you wonder who's going to go first. Before I do, I know it's going to be a huge emotional shock. You don't spend 12, 13, 14 years with anything without it affecting you in a great way. But I know, based on what's in my head and what's in my journal, the benefits of having him in my life all these years far outweigh any emotional pain I might suffer in the next couple of years. Something to think about. There again, back to not just seize the day, but embrace it. Pop it in your memories. Write it down in your journal. Remember the joy of it. How you felt, the sun on your face, the wind on your cheek, the drive there and back, what you had on the radio, put on some old tunes, and it's a great day. As always, breathe deep, think clearly, and enjoy each day. We'll talk at you later.